Ah, coffee. It can make me go from a groaning zombie to feeling like a superhero in just a few sips. Since I've started drinking trade coffee, I'm like Thor, smashing my mug on the floor in delight and shouting, "Another!" As the #1 coffee destination in the US for both hot and cold coffee drinkers, Trade has sourced the best beans from over 50 top roasters across the United States. Trade also roasts their coffee to order, so it arrives as fresh as possible. You can take their quiz right now, and in under a minute, they'll have coffee recommendations you'll love. And if the first bag isn't quite right, Trade will replace it for free until they find the perfect one for you. Right now, Trade is offering 50% off a 1-month trial at drinktrade.com/sins. That's drinktrade.com/sins to get 50% off for 1 month.
Austria! Well then, good day, mate.
That's the entire movie in a nutshell. They're stupid, but not in any kind of unique way. The end. Did we need 30 seconds of movie time establishing Lloyd's job as a limbo limo driver? No. But at this point, I guess the movie makers think Jim's comical delivery is enough to carry scenes that are simply Lloyd climbs to driver's seat. I do not believe this vehicle would be considered roadworthy by local authorities, but look, it's a dog on wheels. But also, the hand of Providence. Oh, it's evident we could never make it on our own. What? No church-raised Michael W. Smith fans in the house? Also, that van is covered in carpet. Yo, I have it on good authority that it does sometimes rain in Providence, Rhode Island, so that thing must smell like a landfill.
Who's got the wiener schnitzel?
Wait, these dogs know English? And they can remember their order?
Harry, why haven't you dropped those dogs off at the show yet?
This raises so many more questions. Someone has groomed a bunch of dogs for a dog show, and now that groomer's driver in a dog suit is delivering the groomed dogs to the dog show on the day of the show. In a van that looks like a dog? Why would you have your dog groomed the morning of a dog show? There's at least 5 sins here. No animals were harmed in the making of this movie. No animals were harmed in the making of this movie. No animals.
Suck me sideways.
This character is dumb. He says dumb things, including suck me sideways. But then we, the people watching, heard this dumb phrase and decided to make it a common phrase for a while there, which is dumb. Wait, is the movie called Dumb and Dumber, or Intentionally Annoying and Even More Intentionally Annoying? The movie will spend its entire runtime dancing around but not answering this question.
Hello, how are you?
She says this instead of, "Why the fuck did you knock on my door 50 times, you weirdo?" Acting like falling in love actually makes your heart hurt like you're f***ing Bugs Bunny or some shit. He sprays the mouth spray in the wrong direction. What an original and heretofore unseen bit of comedic genius. But also, and perhaps more importantly, 98% of the people watching this have never used a breath spray in their lives.
I got worms. We're gonna specialize in selling worm farms.
This is why you never talk to your Uber driver.
How about a hug?
And then she hugs him instead of saying, "God, no, what the f*** is wrong with you?"
I hate goodbyes.
Why isn't she yelling for the cops?
She's gonna leave the briefcase near the escalator. You make the pickup.
Piece of cake.
Isn't this a conversation you should have sometime before 30 seconds ahead of the job? This is the mother of all coincidences. Because he is inappropriately in love with her, and because that causes him to crash, and because that crash causes her to look, and because he sees that look and waves, he's able to spot that she left a bag behind on the floor.
Sir, you can't go in there!
Lloyd ran to the terminal with a bag that was only recently left behind, but he didn't catch up to the casual walking in no hurry to catch flight Mary. Did she manage to time her limo perfectly enough to walk through the airport to her seat on the plane as the last person boarding and immediately take off? Who is this mystery woman? Why did he keep running? I know he's dumb, but even a dumb person would see that there's no plane long before running off the end of the jetway. It'd be one thing if we saw him trip in the jetway and then tumble out the opening, but no, this movie's definition of dumb is so wide, this motherfucker just keeps running, as though we think sunlight and concrete are the same thing as the interior of a plane with a welcoming flight attendant. If you need to swallow like 4 to 10 pills to relieve your ulcer, you should probably be in a hospital.
I spent my life savings turning my van into a dog. The alarm alone cost me $200.
Having a life savings of $214.
It's a shaggin' wagon.
Just because it rhymes doesn't mean girls will ignore the horrible smell of the exterior carpet exposed to the elements. Birdtricide. Wait, that can't be the right word. I mean, it conveys that a bird has been murdered, I suppose, but can we just something aside anything we want to sound smart now? I vote that yes, we can. Movie has time to stop at a newspaper vending machine and spend a little more money on stupid shit. I know sometimes dudes lose their wallets, but holy crap, this seems plot convenient.
I got robbed by a sweet old lady on a motorized cart.
How did she manage to get that hat off your head, and why weren't we shown that scene?
That's it.
I've had it with this dump!
Lloyd blames his romantic limo struggles and the decapitation of his best friend's bird on the place they live?
I'm sick and tired of having to eke my way through life.
This stupid motherfucker didn't know Austria from Australia, but he knows and correctly uses the word eek? Get the out of here.
I'm sick and tired of having nobody.
He says this to his best friend, who is certainly somebody.
Aspen it is.
Considering we were just told that the last of their dough went to booze and stupid shit that Lloyd bought, how exactly are they going to pay for the gas money to travel to Aspen?
We're supposed to talk about all expenditures, Lloyd. We are on a very tight budget.
While we're on the subject of pinching pennies, why did you not strip all the carpet off this van before making this journey? Do you have any idea the amount of drag that is creating? It's killing your gas mileage. See, it's funny because a blind kid can't tell what tape feels like, or a cold unmoving object. Why would they leave a note for the gas man but not the electric guy or the water dude?
Gas man. How the hell do they know that I got gas?
They gotta be pros.
This movie should have been called Dumb and Dumber and Dumberer and Dumberer, or maybe even The Dumbening, since everyone in this movie has to be dumb for these events to play out. Misspelling truck in your truck stops. Holy sh! Diesel is only 109? What is this, the 50s?
My soda's flat. It doesn't have any bubbles.
What?
Who's the dead man that hit me with the salt shaker?
Being so wound up you promise murder before learning anything about why your head got a little bonk from a salt shaker. What if it was a toddler?
Kick his ass, Seabass!
So, just so everyone can be educated, sea bass is a popular fish worldwide because it is known to be light, buttery, and flaky. So now take this guy's nickname and pair it with that definition, and he's basically a pretty little princess. Kick his ass, light and flaky!
Kill those sons of bitches!
For stiffing you with their tab, the kill bar is set pretty low in these here parts.
What are you, a camel?
If you pee more than 4 beer bottles full, you have held the pee for too long and almost certainly done damage to your bladder. Oh no, he's drinking pee thinking he's drinking something else. What an original and heretofore unseen bit of comedic genius.
Get the hell out of here.
It appears this character has some sort of understanding about the liquid he has drank, and I'm not sure that anyone would know piss taste unless they had previous experience with piss. The amount of people who went home and tried this. While he daydreams about kicking all the waiters' asses in this fine dining restaurant, I'd like to point out that this fine dining restaurant has served him a salad consisting of 5 cucumber slices, a third of a boiled egg, 3 grape tomatoes, and some other wilted ass looking shit. And you might say that's because he's stupid, so his daydreams are stupid. To which I would say, then why did he get the dress code right? And then you might say it was a good guess. And then I might say guesses are for bitches. And then you might say what? And then I might say I thought it was your turn. And then you might say my turn to what? And then I might say insult me. And then you might say I thought we were talking about Pokemon cards. Cutscenes from Ace Ventura somehow make their way into this movie. It's hard to sin this movie when everything could be shrugged off because these two are f***ing dumb. But keeping bottles of piss in your van that are now spilling everywhere seems like it's in a different sort of category, which is sinnable. Hygiene. The f*** is this wallpaper pattern that is not quite wreath, not quite beetle, not quite diagram of how birds and bees unite in baby-making intricacy? I hate it. Eavesdropping.
This is the life.
This is the life of Bohemia.
Cold beer, a hot tub, and paper-thin walls.
All of which they can somehow afford despite being totally f***ing broke.
You'd probably like it too, you big homo.
Ah, there we go. Dumb and dumber and homophobicer.
Mr. Andre, guess who we just happened upon?
Lloyd and Harry wrote a note that they were headed to Aspen, and there is an obvious route to assume they would take. And they were driving a dog van, but I still find it insane that they were discovered at all.
Keep your shirt on, I gotta squeeze a lemon.
Using squeeze a lemon as a euphemism for going to the bathroom.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Thank you, but I already know what it sounds like when I fail to satisfy a woman. They're going to Colorado and they haven't even crossed the Mississippi yet? This movie's gonna be over before they get there. The idea of a man being sent to collect and ferry someone somewhere, getting so annoyed at the person he's supposed to ferry somewhere is actually a good idea for a movie. It's called Midnight Run. Whoever thought it was a good idea to have fire extinguishers as table decorations? This will inevitably result in a kid spraying a restaurant and ruining everyone's dinner plans. Oh no, they ate spicy food and now they regret it. What an original and heretofore unseen bit of comedic genius.
They ain't gonna be running around nowhere after I dump a little rat poison in their Shirley Temple.
If you were going to kill them, you could have shot them in the truck when they picked you up. The briefcase is in the truck, yes? Matter of fact, why the f*** don't you just go to the truck now, take the briefcase, and leave?
Just doesn't seem like you packed much. All I saw was one bag and that briefcase.
So you saw the briefcase, learned these two guys are submorons, have a gun in your possession, and you still somehow don't have the briefcase? You are shit at your job, bro. After this happens, because of the peppers, they give him his rat poison pills intended for them instead of his ulcer pills. So what I'm saying is, these guys manslaughter this dude. Whatever the Jim launches from his mouth, I don't know what it is. I don't know where it came from. He was just speaking, so it can't be food, unless he stores it in his cheeks like a goddamn chipmunk. What are the odds that Seabass has traveled from Pennsylvania to Colorado along the same route and ended up in the same bathroom at precisely the moment Lloyd is peeing in his pervy stall? Cinnable odds, that's what. Lloyd shouldn't be scared if he's strong enough to make concrete walls bend when he presses against them. It would be nice to see the end of movies thinking that a man lighting a woman's cigarette for her is a good thing. Here, madam, let me help you die.
Here's your happy place.
I'm half surprised these brothers were able to keep making movies after like this and half remembering what the 90s were like. Lloyd completely ignores a giant and well-lit road sign. For being on a cross-country trek, the windshield is incredibly clean and lacking bugs. Even if they are able to keep the window this clean, we should be seeing disastrous amounts of insect goop stuck in the fabric of the hood. Is that the shadow of a boom mic next to Jim Carrey, or is this movie just unhappy to see me?
Got room for one more if you still want to go to Aspen.
You do not have room for even your own self on this tiny child's motorbike. I'm reasonably sure this vehicle would in no way make it from Lincoln, Nebraska to Aspen, Colorado.
I gotta stop or go to the bathroom.
Just go, man.
What the
I swallowed a big June bug when we were driving. I'm not really hungry.
June bugs are not remotely large enough, even at their largest, to be more than half a single bite of food.
She'll invite us right in for tea and strumpets.
Strumpets.
You've had this pair of extra gloves this whole time?
I'm not sure Harry is smart enough to make this realization, but between this and the scene where he yells at Lloyd about the money, I'm beginning to think Harry is the dumb and Lloyd is the dumber. If you have a briefcase full's worth of cash, you should put it in a briefcase that you are certain is secure and sturdy. This looks like just a regular briefcase. This shit is on whoever packed the suitcase.
We'll take it.
Spending money like you just found a briefcase full of money. The joke is that they are wasting money, but the sin is that paper money is not very absorbent at all. Lloyd picks up the newspaper and spots Mary, the girl he loved from afar, who dropped off the briefcase. But the sin is that these two numbnuts would even bring a newspaper inside, let alone look at his pictures. The article has nothing to do with the headline and is repetitious bullshit cliche.
Duh?
Yeah.
The
movie will now cash in some easy points by mocking people who can't read, even though a disturbing number of Americans actually can't read. They are trying to get Lloyd ready for the ball, so why is Harry getting all the pampering Lloyd is getting? That's costing so much extra money. I realize they're spending suitcase money here, but I'm still not sure why they didn't just say, we need a makeover, instead of Harry saying to Lloyd, you need a makeover, since they are both getting a makeover. I refuse to believe those nails would allow Lloyd to comfortably walk in shoes, let alone kangaroo on a bed. Harry whispers something into the professional massage therapist's ear that somehow convinces her to give him her clothing and trade places, and she pretends to enjoy the rest of the massage that is absolutely dislocating ribs. Revoke her license! Listen, I will be flat out dead before I ever let another person put a pair of scissors up my fucking nose. Why would this cause sparks? As iconic as these suits have become, I still have to send them for being terrible. Why is the main guy in charge of the heisty plot working the door at this party? Keeping wild animals captive.
These magnificent specimens constitute 1/7 of the snow owl population left on the planet.
These two are 1/7 comment means there are literally 14 snow owls on planet Earth. I just don't think captivity at a party is where you want two of these owls when you are purportedly trying to increase their numbers. A picture or video, I mean, those are options.
She's gonna think I'm some kind of a psycho when she finds out how far I came just to see her.
I thought you were supposed to be too stupid to know this. Through no fault of his own, Harry ends up with a ski date with his best friend's crush, and it's starting to feel like some higher power, like a screenplay, is manipulating events to create conflict. Oh no, he got his tongue stuck to a frozen pole. What an original and heretofore unseen bit of comedic genius. This fake tongue would work a lot better if I couldn't literally see his real tongue just below the fake one. Because normal people head to the ski slopes with a couple pieces of coal and a carrot, just in case there's an opportunity for a spontaneous snowman building along the ski path somewhere. Mary appears to have changed her coat and headband from distant black to welcoming blue, just so we know she's evolving as a character. This snow scene is basically the movie Big. He's acting like a child by pushing her head into the snow, and she thinks it's some kind of new competitive flirting technique.
Her family has the big place up on Alpine Drive.
Movie wants me to believe dumb Lloyd knows where Alpine Drive is, or what big place means. Okay, I refuse to believe Harry could capably drive and park a Lamborghini under any circumstances.
I've got to tell you, today was just what I needed.
Today was just what I needed. Lloyd decides to act like he doesn't know about Harry and Mary's date because this is the third act and we need conflict, so he can't possibly do what a normal person would do and confront his friend immediately. What I don't understand is how Turbolax can promise immediate bowel release without having a taste. It should taste like something other than what it's being poured into, especially when you do a Lloyd and pour in 17 teaspoons full. Okay, but the bottle promised immediate reaction, and this is clearly at least 3 or more minutes after he drank the tea. Oh no, someone gave him a laxative, and now he's got diarrhea. What an original and heretofore unseen bit of comedic genius.
I hope you're not using the toilet, it's broken.
See, this is the sort of thing you have to mention in your welcome to the house spiel given a moment ago. But instead, you said,
Make yourself at home.
And completely forgot to mention not to piss in the toilet. Legitimately surprised that child's scooter is still working. Piggybacking your attempt at fame on the broken-hearted blind kid. While in Aspen, she remembers him as her limo driver from Rhode Island last week and somehow does not slam the door in his face and call 911. Dumb Harry has somehow removed the entire tank from the back of the toilet and the basin from the floor without tools. Also, and perhaps more importantly, when toilets come apart, there is not a plug at the bottom of the bowl portion that holds all your diarrhea in. You pull the bowl off the floor and you get diarrhea everywhere. And yes, he has a towel under it, but a towel is not how you defeat f***ing gravity.
I don't believe it. You really have it.
Has the idea that Lloyd may be behind the kidnapping not crossed Mary's mind? He's acting strangely, stalking her, tackling her on the stairs, has lured her to his hotel room alone, and has the briefcase that she left for the kidnappers. I would think she'd contact someone to tell them where she was going as sort of a backup plan.
You're the woman I've been waiting for my whole life.
Movie pretends the main character is talking to another person only to reveal that they are just talking to themselves and practicing cliche.
Maybe I should be going.
No.
Mary has the briefcase filled with money that could save her husband's life, and she's thinking maybe she should be leaving? Go save your husband, you fucking lunatic!
What do you think the chances are of a guy like you and a girl like me ending up together?
Well, Lloyd, that's difficult to say.
This movie is working too hard for the reveal that she is married.
I'd say more like 1 out of 1,000,000.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Men.
Yes, I'd like a one-way ticket to Amsterdam.
So the money is gone, and he's right to flee the country, but why is he leaving these 3 alive? The criminal in me says he should definitely shoot these fools right now.
Can I have a vegetarian meal?
When you are a vegetarian, that comes above all else, including escape routes.
Come on, shoot me.
Lloyd is not immediately shot by the trigger-happy psychopath that will immediately shoot his friend in a few seconds.
We've been following you guys all the way from Providence.
Seems like maybe you could have stepped in before now, yes? Also, if Beth was aware of the kidnapping in the suitcase when they met up at the gas station, why didn't she do a little more investigating at that time? Or at the bar when Lloyd was waiting for Mary? She just went with the ex-boyfriend ruse and became standoffish when Harry set himself on fire. I bet her boss was pissed that she wasted so many resources so she could get that trip to Aspen.
Then they slapped this bulletproof vest on me and gave me a gun.
It's wild that you were even able to comprehend what undercover even means, if I'm honest, but well done. These people were involved in a multi-state conspiracy that involved fraud and murder. Why is the local Aspen PD taking them away instead of the FBI? We know the FBI is here because this guy walks by in an FBI jacket. What gives?
I owe you both a debt of gratitude.
For what? They didn't solve a case? The FBI were already there to investigate. These dumbasses slowed down the delivery of the briefcase and delayed Bobby being rescued. Okay, so maybe they helped to reveal who was behind the kidnapping in their accidental sort of way, but that mystery would have been solved by following the henchman from the airport. Lloyd and Harry have done nothing.
And we're looking for 2 oil boys who can grease us up before each competition.
Because that is how those jobs are filled. There's simply no reason for this movie to be nearly 2 hours long, goddamn.
Ow! 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 Ow!
Hello, how are you?
Well, you gotta have an opinion. I mean, do you think that God came down from heaven and stopped?
We're supposed to talk about all expenditures, Lloyd. We are on a very tight budget.
He's on a very fixed income.
An all-new helmet. You don't kill people you don't know. That's a rule.
No shooting friends, Joseph.
Where did you find that? Some kid back in town traded the van for it, straight up.
I don't believe you.
And I begin to perceive this impending intestinal requirement whose needs are going to surpass by great lengths anything in the sexual realm.